now tuned into the greatest.
So when that bag come, I won't fumble. I've been stacking on the low, but hey, I'm tired of being humble. Let me get to it. That motivation music. Get control of your life, don't let nobody else do it. Cause when I gon' have Metro S550s cruising. Feel like you winning on the...
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson, all the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. You know, I greatly appreciate you tuning in to the first interactive sports podcast, community that makes sure your voice is heard. So if you hear something you agree with, you disagree with, you like or you dislike, go ahead, shoot us a quick take, 219-413-9405. And of course, we will play your take back on our next episode. And then speaking of episodes, shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this episode. Get $20 off your first ticket purchase when you use the promo code The Run Podcast. Now, this code can only be applied for first-time users on the mobile app or website. So I don't know about you, but my Tigers is going crazy right now. So I would do anything and everything in my power to go see them. Definitely going to be taking a couple trips out to Detroit to see them. But yeah, you need to go ahead, check those boys out. And check out your local team, sports, music, whatever it is you're into, you can definitely check it out there. However, the thing that we're going to be talking about and bringing to attention today is Game 2 of the NBA Finals here. And we were in for a treat. Was it really a treat? Not really, but I'm just happy his basketball still going on. And it was some pretty good basketball before the game got out of control. But above all, we've seen some important things in this series that are kind of going to let us know what's going to happen in Game 3, Game 4, Game 5. Obviously, we know both teams are talented and either team can win, which is probably the most important thing and something that I think had to have been established going into this series, because for some weird, odd reason, we genuinely had people in here thinking that OKC was going to sweep the Pacers, and we genuinely had people think that the Pacers weren't really a good team. But the biggest difference that I've noticed so far between Game 1 and Game 2 is when OKC shoots lights out, them boys shoot lights out, and that's how they end up winning by 20 points whenever they playing against any of these teams in the playoffs, whether it's the Pacers, whether it was the Nuggets, or whether it was the Wolves. Either way, when these boys is knocking down their three-pointers, man, they start rolling quick. It's almost like how they say good defense leads to good offense. It's almost like their good offense leads to good defense in a way. Where they're just so talented on both ends of the ball. And in Game 2, that was really the big difference of what we seen from the Thunder, is that we seen more spreaded scoring for that whole team. You look at Game 1, the stat sheet wasn't really as feel from those guys, the starting five, and then even some of the guys on the bench. But Game 2, obviously we seen Chet. He showed up big time, had 15 points. Did his part on the rebounds as well, grabbed 6 of them, and then made some three-pointers, just made some big shots as well that helped out the momentum. We know what J-Dub is going to bring to the floor every time. He's always huge, and SGA is always just kind of a walking 30-piece as well. But, these are the things from OKC that I noticed with the difference between Game 1 and Game 2 so far, is that the scoring was more spread throughout. It wasn't just the SGA show where he's the one that's grabbing 35, 38, whatever the case is, and then running away, carrying the offense on his own. When he has help, this team end up winning by 25. They end up winning by 17, or however large the margin is actually going to be. As long as SGA has some help there with other people who can knock down open shots, because all the attention is going to be on him. However, let's move to the Indiana Pacers, because the Pacers, they struggle here. Didn't really seem to find the offensive rhythm at all throughout this game. A lot of people kind of want to get mad at Tyrese Haliburton and throw that whole thing of, oh, he's not a star in his face, which, in a way, I really do disagree with. I think Tyrese Haliburton has proved, if anything, this entire playoff series that he is a star. So what if he has some bad nights? It happens. It's the NBA Finals. It's his first time there. I mean, he's not going to hit it on the nail every time, and he's not a purebred scorer like we see from the other point guard on Oklahoma City Thunder. That dude's a purebred scorer, no matter what you say and how you want to align it. Tyrese Haliburton, that's not his game. He's more kind of a pass-first guard, get his teammates involved type of guard, and then score at will if he needs to, which is why he ended up with practically 8 points before the game got out of hand and he started putting up even more points toward the end of the game. He finished with 17, but above all, those 17 points didn't come in important times of the game. A lot of those 17 points came in garbage time. With that being said, though, I mean, obviously we got to see Tyrese Haliburton step his game up. This is an aspect that they're going to need from the Pacers in order to win game 3 and step up game 3. One of the things I did notice as well, the three-point shooting was not very good from a lot of the supporting cast. Miles Turner was 1 for 5. Nimbar, 1 for 4. Siakam, 1 for 4. You see a lot of different 1 for 5s and 1 for 4s. Obi Toppin was a guy who hit like 5 threes in game 1, but 1 for 5. So the shooting margins is something that stood out to me right off the back. It's just 3-point margins, but also too, I would be very, very disrespectful and I would be doing OKC a disservice if I didn't give credit to their defense, because OKC didn't really shoot the best from the 3-point line or in general as well, but they played defense and created turnovers. This was by far the difference maker here, is just creating those turnovers, kind of how we seen in game 1 where Pacers got sloppy and they were flipping it left and right. It was a similar situation, but this time OKC didn't take their foot off the gas. And ultimately, you know, here we are where this is why they win by 17 points or however much points it was. Like, this is why they win by a large margin, because they were able to force the turnovers. And this time they never took their foot off the gas. So, you know, you love to see that. It was ultimately, I think, a great basketball game there between game 1 and game 2. Game 3 is going to be interesting. They're going back to Indiana. In this sense, I guess, Pacers now have home court advantage. So this game 3 in Indiana is about to be huge, because Pacers, if they protect home court, then they can close it out at home. If they lose, you give the advantage back to the Oklahoma City Thunder. So I'm excited about this, but ultimately both teams have been fairly well at making adjustments all throughout the course of the playoffs. So I'm expecting definitely a better game than game 2. Coming into game 3 with the Indiana Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. So I'm excited about that. Another thing too, I would be wrong if I didn't discuss this since we're on the topic of Pacers and, you know, the Oklahoma City Thunder, but I think it's hilarious, as a matter of fact. I think it's so funny. A lot of people might not find it funny, but sometimes I have a dark sense of humor. So I think it's funny how the NBA and mainstream media has tried to give Tyrese Haliburton a new nickname. What the hell is up with that? We know Tyrese Haliburton's nickname is not the moment. I get it. It's whatever. I see what you tried to do, giving him the nickname the moment. But any and everybody who's been on Twitter, who's been following the NBA playoffs, knows that Tyrese Haliburton's nickname is the Haliban. That's what it is. He's the Haliban. And right now we're witnessing the Haliban versus Shices or Al Shaida. This is just what we're seeing, and this is what everybody has already agreed to. Sometimes you can't give a nickname to the person. Sometimes the people pick the nickname, and whether you like it or not, I am sorry, but the people have picked the nickname for Tyrese Haliburton, and it is not the moment. It is the Haliban. So this is, I know people on ESPN, I know that the bigger networks in the Bleacher Reports and stuff will not abide by that, but just know, if you already know, you already calling him the Haliban, that is his nickname. I am sorry. That is just his nickname. The people chose that for him, and that's what it is, man. They say he out here dropping bombs, and all right, going a little too far, but they say it fits. Just the name fits. With all the buzzer beaters he's been making, the name fits. That's all I'm gonna say. And then I don't know where the Al Shaida came from. The Al Shaida was crazy, and the Shices was crazy as well. I don't know where this came. This is crazy. This here proves this American sport is getting out of control, and the commentary from others is just getting a little out of control. I will say it is wild, and I'm not condoning that. You know, you see Tyrese Haliburton in person and you say, "Oh, Haliburton, what's up?" Like, I am not condoning this at all. I'm just saying it get a little out of control, and for the big networks to be trying to switch the name up and stuff, it is the right thing to do, but ultimately that is not the nickname that the people have chosen, man. That's just not it, man. Nicknames have gotten so bad in the league, and now we're at a point where we finally get one good nickname with a good reason behind it, and you damn near can't even use it. So it hurts. But above all, man, you know, that's an interesting side note on the whole NBA Finals thing is the nicknames that's going on right now. We're seeing a lot of players develop some new names. So interesting. All right, anyway, look, don't go anywhere, man. We got some news for the run coming up. A couple different things happening, actually, for, the sports world and NFL and NBA. Obviously, you know what's going on in the NBA, but NHL is in there as well. But we'll run through some news for the run in just a sec, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. It's halftime.